Hello everyone, welcome to Like the Deep. Today we are going to look at the Primer's lab video. So everybody is talking about AI stealing jobs, but here's what the data actually shows. We are witnessing the biggest augmentation event in human history. Not replacement, but augmentation. Look at this. The average knowledge worker spends 60% of the day on what I call drudgery. Emails, data entry, scheduling, formatting. But when you pair LLM with human, the drudgery vanishes. And something fascinating happens. This is the productivity graph for the last 15 years. Notice anything? It is very flat. For a decade, the productivity gain has been stuck at 1 to 2%. But then in 2023, something breaks. We are seeing 55% productivity gain in roles that have learned to manage AI instead of compete with it. Today we are counting down on the top 15 roles by workforce volume, where LLMs are deleting the administrative burden right now. I am not just showing you animations, I am going to give you live demonstrations of prompts that the professionals can be using. Let's start with the first one, the executive assistant. This role has the highest volume and the highest gain. Here's a typical morning of the executive assistant. 50-100 emails, 3 calendar conflicts, and a Zoom meetings transcript that no one will ever read. Normally, they are stuck manually replying to each and every email with a generic inquiry, playing calendar Tetris to reschedule 5 people, and reading entire meeting transcripts just to find who promised what. It's a pure reactive drudgery. This takes 3 hours of valuable morning time. Watch what happens when we add AI to the equation. The chaos gets synthesized. The LLM drafts replies for low priority emails, proposes conflict-free time slots based on everyone's availability, and extracts a clean list of action items from the transcript in seconds. Everything suddenly has a home. The reality, super admin with LLMs is now doing the work of 3 people, not working harder but working smarter. Now let's see a live demo of that meeting transcript setup. So let me show you how this actually works. So here's a real executive brain dump. Listen to the chaos. Sarah says project X is delayed. Remind me to call John about the merger. Book the offsite venue by Friday and we lose the deposit, blah blah blah. 4 completely different tasks mixed together. Watch what happens when we ask AI to organize this. So I'm going to send a prompt saying I'm using Eisenhower matrix framework, urgent, important, not urgent, and so on. And look at this output. It is automatically prioritized. Broad deck and venue deposit are due now. John's merge call gets scheduled. Project X gets delegated back to Sarah, and Sarah's with a request timeline. This took me literally 8 seconds manually. This would have taken me 45 minutes back and forth emails just to clarify the priorities. And therefore we can see the real deal here. 45 minutes of work in just 8 seconds. So here's the pattern: extraction, prioritization, transformation. If your job involves organizing chaos, you're sitting on a gold mine. Let's keep going. Now number 2, customer service. The numbers here are absolute brutal. The average agent handles 50 tickets per day. If you even spend 10 minutes per ticket, that's 8 hours of pure typing, no breaks, no thinking. Here's where AI changes the game. Watch how this ticket gets processed. Instant context, the AI reads the entire 8 email thread and gives the agent 1 paragraph summary. Customer, Sarah Chen, issue, login failure for 3 days, previous attempts, password reset, and cache clear. Sentiment is he's frustrated. Now, and it also responds with a draft of reply, not generic but empathetic. Hi Sarah, I'm really sorry that you have been logged out for 3 days. And I can also see that you have tried a few times. Let's escalate this to the engineering team. And now let's go for the live example. Now as you can see, the customer has replied that this is absolutely ridiculous, that he has been waiting for 40 minutes and he's been charged twice, and he's going to escalate it to the lawyer if it's not fixed today. So I'm asking the sentiment analysis, this is first. So it correctly flags as critical urgency. Then I ask it to use the LEAP method. Listen, empathize, apologize, and plan. And if I look at the response, it completely understands how to really respond to the customer. And it has responded with, I completely understand with your frustration and I sincerely apologize for the duplicate charge and wait time. I processed the immediate refund and added 1 month of free service to your account. And you should see within 2 hours. Perfect, de-escalated, and actionable. Agents aren't typists anymore, they are problem solvers. AI handles the script, they handle the judgment calls, and let's go to the next row. Now let's look at teachers. If you ever taught, you know this is an impossible task. In one classroom, 30 kids. 5 are slow learners, 10 are gifted, 15 are right in the middle. How do you teach them all with one lesson plan? Absolutely you don't. You create differentiated context. Watch this. One core lesson gets transformed into 3 versions: beginner, standard and advanced. All by just using LLM and giving it the base lesson plan. What basically is hours if not days is now countable minutes. And here's the bonus. AI grading assistants, not just replacing a teacher's judgments but handling the mechanical stuff, grammar checks, structure analysis and etc. Teacher just focuses on the ideas. Let's go to the real example. Here's the real example of standard curriculum. Students will analyze the economic causes of the French Revolution and focus on the 3 states. Dry, right? Absolutely. Every social period is dry. So now I am asking AI to create 3 differentiated versions. For visual learners, the comic strip showing 3 estates as characters. For advanced students, a debate prompt comparing French taxation to model policy. And for slow learners, a vocabulary sheet with picture definitions. 3 completely different entry points, the same core standards. That's differentiation at scale. Teachers are grading machines, they are learning architects. The AI scaffolds, they inspire. Let's move to 4. Number 4, sales. The math here is absolute bonkers. Sending 100 generic cold emails gets you 0 replies. But sending 100 research emails, that's 100 hours of LinkedIn stalking. Here's the unlock. You feed the AI a LinkedIn profile. It analyzes recent posts, job changes, company news, and then writes a cold email that doesn't feel cold. One sales rep can now send 50 personalized emails in an hour. Not dear first name and fake personalization, but actual relevance. Now let's get into the live demo. So here we can see a VP at Ops at Logistic Co. Recent post, just completed London triathlon. Above section mentions reducing carbon footprint and last mile delivery. Now I'm asking the AI to write a pattern interrupt email. Subject: endurance sports, enduring supply chains. Body: John, I saw your triathlon post. That discipline you apply to 140 miles. That same mindset we bring to sustainable logistics. It's not generic, but it's relevant. That's the difference between the 2% and 20% response rates. Sales reps aren't spammers, they are relationship builders. AI does the research, they make the connection. On to number 5. Number 5, accountants. The tax season is coming and you know what that means. Your clients walk in with a shoebox. Not a metaphor, but an actual shoebox full of crumbed receipts mixed with grocery lists and parking tickets. This is where OCR plus LLM becomes magic. Take a photo of the receipt, the AI extracts the date, the vendor, the amount, but here's the key, it also categorizes it. Starbucks meeting with client, meals and entertainment. Uber to conference, that's travel. Target diapers, personal and it's excluded. Manually entering 200 receipts, it takes 4 hours. With AI, it's just 15 minutes of photo upload and review. Let me show you the real OCR output with a real example. Look at this chaos. Uber trip, December 12, $45.20. Target diapers, milk. December 13, $22.50. Delta Airlines flight to conference, January 4th, $44.50. Starbucks coffee with client, $12.40. All mixed together, personal and business, but now I am going to ask AI as a tax auditor. Rules: flag personal items from exclusion, to categorize Uber and Delta as travel, Starbucks as meals and entertainment, and output as a CSV. And here's the magic. What used to take entire Saturday afternoon now takes just minutes, and it's more accurate because humans get tired and miss things around the receipt number 150. Accountants aren't data entry clerks anymore. They are financial strategists. The AI handles the tedium, they handle the tax planning. Number 6 is where things get technical. Number 6, software developers. Let's be honest, coding is 20% problem solving and 80% boilerplate. What's the difference? Before AI, a developer types def, authenticate user, ... pauses, checks Stack Overflow, comes back and types another line and repeats this. With AI, describe what you want in plain English. Create a login function with password validation, error handling and rate limiting, and boom, it's done in 8 seconds. But here's the real time saver, documentation. No developer likes writing docs. Now you just highlight your code and say, generate API documentation in Markdown format, instant readme.md. Now let's go to the live demo. Let me show you something real. Here's legacy code from a company. Look at this mess. Variable names in one letter, there's a comment that says fix the security hole, and this is what developers inherit when someone leaves. Now I am asking for things: identify the vulnerability, refactor the modern async away, write the doc string and generate unit tests. First, the vulnerability code gets generated properly, and the code gets refactored properly, and then the doc string and the documentation was completely written in a human readable format and according to the real code documentation. And also unit tests are also created accordingly. The entire process, audit, refactor, document and test, would have taken a senior dev 2 to 3 hours. We just did it in 90 seconds. Developers aren't code monkeys anymore, they are architects. AI writes the boilerplate, they design the systems, and let's go to the number 7. Number 7, operations and logistics. This is the absolute synthesis of a job. You are getting alerts from everywhere. Weather API says hurricane, supply email says shipment delayed, inventory system says low stock, customer portal shows urgent order. The AI doesn't read this, it connects them. It realizes hurricane blocks Miami port, shipment 991 is stuck there, and shipment feed order 4521, customer is going to miss their deadline. And then it drafts the solution. Reroute to Jacksonville, notify the customer with new ETA, and source alternate supplier for the next batch. This logistics test. The AI sees 5 moves ahead. Here's the real stuff. Let's go to the live demo. The port of Miami is closed, hurricane category 4, and here's the shipment manifest. Shipment 992, perishables currently at Miami port, destination is at Atlanta. Now I'm going to ask the AI to run emergency logic. Identify all perishables currently at Miami, suggest a reroute to the nearest open port, and draft a customer email explaining force majeure, delay and insurance steps. Reroute suggestion. Jacksonville is 340 miles north, ETA is plus 18 hours. So the customer email that the AI writes is, due to the hurricane Milton, your perishable shipment has been rerouted. We have activated cold chain backup at Jacksonville. The delivery is delayed by 18 hours, but product integrity is maintained. Insurance documentation is attached. That analysis and communication, manual process would have taken 2 hours per shipment. AI does all 500 in parallel. Op managers aren't firefighters, they are strategists. AI handles the tactical, they handle the decisions. On to number 8. Number 8, human resources. The resume black hole is real. Post a remote job and you get 2000 applications in 24 hours. 90% are unqualified, 5% are spam bots, but somewhere there are your 5 perfect candidates. AI screening changes everything. You upload your job description and your resume batch. And the AI scores them, candidate 14, 95% match. 7 years of Python, TensorFlow and team lead experience. Missing AWS certification. Bonus use case, employee questions. Where's my dental deductible? Instead of HR answering this 50 times a day, a chatbot trained on your handbook answers instantly. $50 annual deductible. Page 12 of your benefits guide with citations. Now let's get to the live demo. So these are the candidates for senior AI lead role. There's a candidate 12 with Java and 2 years of junior dev. Candidate 13 with Microsoft Word experience and leadership in 10 years. A retail manager. Candidate 14, Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch and 7 years as senior data scientist. Now what is our requirements is, we want 5+ years of Python and leadership. This is basically the OCR output. Now to match the score, the AI analyzes and it matches the scores. So candidate 12 is 30% match, 2 junior, so therefore. Candidate 13 is 10% because he's of a wrong field. Candidate 14, 95% match. Perfect match, just that he's missing the AWS certification. Now let's register. That is to interview the candidate 14 and reject others with auto-generated polite emails. Now HR isn't basically gatekeeping anymore, they are talent hunters. On to number 9. Number 9, marketing. This is the content treadmill problem. You write one high quality 2000 word blog post. Great. But now you need to post on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok and your newsletter and create a slide deck for sales. That's 20 plus derivative assets from one source. Manually, that's a week of work. But with AI repurposing, just 15 minutes. You paste the blog and say, hey, create a Twitter thread, a LinkedIn article, and 3 Instagram captions, a TikTok script, and newsletter blurb. The AI isn't just chopping it up, it's adapting the tone for each and every platform. Let me show you this live. Here's a technical blog abstract, let's say for marketing team of Hugging Face. The latency of the LLM inference is bottlenecked by memory bandwidth, not compute. Our new H100 optimization reduces KV cache overhead by 40%, allowing 2x largest batch sizes. This is very vague and very ununderstandable for people outside the field. So now I'm repurposing it for 3 different audiences. LinkedIn post for thought leadership, focus on business impact. Twitter thread for developers, technical breakdown. TikTok script, use a traffic jam analogy. Now, The LinkedIn output says we've just cut off AI infrastructure by 40%. Here's how our memory optimization is the new competitive advantage. It's completely business language, return of investment focused. Twitter thread. Why memory bandwidth is greater than compute in LLMs? Think of it like this. Your GPU is a Ferrari but stuck in a parking lot because the memory bus is just a 2-lane blower. Technical but accessible to other people also. TikTok. Imagine a highway traffic jam. The cars are the problem, but the road width is the real problem. We just built a 10-lane highway. This is absolutely visual and it's just 45 seconds long. Same core information, 3 completely different tones and formats. This is how you dominate multiple channels without burning down your team. Marketers aren't just content factories, they are strategists. AI handles the distribution, they handle the big ideas. Number 10, let's get into legal territory. Number 10, it's legal. The problem here is volume. Discovery in a lawsuit means reviewing 10,000 pages of contracts, emails and depositions. You're looking for one clause that proves liability. AI isn't keyword-based search, it's semantic, which means you can ask, find any clause where we accept liability for consequential damages exceeding $1 million. It understands legal concepts, not just word matches. Bonus use case, contract redlining. Upload version 1 of the document and version 2. AI instantly highlights liability cap has increased from $1 million to $5 million. Payment term changed from next 30 to next 60. Termination clause has been modified. Now let's go into the live example. Let me show you a contract comparison. Now this is the entire license and I am asking it to check whether what we have negotiated for is actually correct. And is there anything that we can go for further? Now, as you can see, the AI is responding as, yeah, the clause protects you as the provider, not you as the client. The 72-hour notice requirement is unusually short. The industry standard is 30 days. The liability cap has to be accepted to 2 months fees. The notice period has changed by 30 days and added the clause, gross negligence defined willful misconduct of waste confidentially. That analysis would cost $500 in paralegal time. We did it in 15 seconds. Lawyers aren't document readers, they are strategists. AI finds the facts, they build the case. Move to 11, save lives. Number 11, medical scribes. There's one thing about maximizing doctors' time with patients. The number one cause of physician burnout is electronic health records. Doctors spend approximately 2 hours per day typing notes instead of treating patients. Ambient AI changes this. There's a secure microphone that listens to the consultation with the consent of the patient. It filters out the small talk about weather and extracts only the medical facts. Then it generates a structured SOAP note, subjective symptoms, objective vitals, assessment diagnostics and planned treatment, ready for review in seconds. Doctors from 2 hours of typing to 15 minutes of review. That's 1 hour and 45 minutes back with patients. Now let's get into the live demo. Here's a raw transcript from the doctor's visit. Hi Mark, how's the knee? The left one is still throbbing when I take stairs. I stop ibuprofen because it hurt my stomach. Doctor, the BP is 140/90. Let's switch you to naproxen and schedule an MRI. It's a messy conversation. Now I'm converting this into a formal SOAP note. The critical instruction that I'm going to give is flag the adverse reaction of ibuprofen with allergies section. Subject, the patient reports the left knee pain, worse on squares, discontinue ibuprofen due to GI stress. Objective, 140/90 is BP and knee swelling is reduced. Assessment is improving tendinitis, hypertension noted, and plan is to switch naproxen in 500 mg, order knee MRI and recheck BP next visit. Allergies has flagged ibuprofen and GI intolerance. The flag would save the patient's life if another doctor prescribes a similar NSAID. Doctors aren't secretaries, they are healers and AI documents but they diagnose. Number 12 is for the data nerds. Number 12, data analyst. The bottleneck here is complexity. A VP asks, how are our Q3 sales trending by region? A very simple question, but answering it requires writing this. Select region sums of sales from sales data where quarter is 3, group by region, order by blah blah blah. You get the idea. With AI, you just ask the question in plain English, the AI writes the SQL and executes it, and even explains the result. West region leads with $2.3 million, up 15% from Q2. Bonus, it also generates auto-generated visualizations. No more fighting with Excel pivot tables. Now let's get into the live demo. Let me show you a real scenario. A VP asked this question. What is the average revenue per user for enterprise panel users in Germany for Q3 2023? That's a very complex query. We need to join 3 tables. Look at the schemas. Translog V2 has transactions, meta users has plant tiers, ref region has country codes, and here's the gotcha. amount user is null for reference. I am asking AI to rewrite in PostgreSQL query with 4 requirements. Join all 3 tables, filter out refunds, convert epoch timestamp to dates, and explain the logic for the VP. And here's the generated SQL as you can see. I cannot read this, it just goes out of my mouth. And here's the VP friendly explanation. This query calculates an average transaction value for enterprise customers in Germany during Q3, excluding refunds. We join transaction logs to the user metadata to filter by plan type and then regional data and filter by country. The result for $487 average revenue per user, and the AI auto generates a bar chart comparing it to the other regions. Analysts just save 45 minutes of query debugging the 30 minutes of chart formatting. Now they can focus on the why. Germany RPO is 22% higher than France. Let's investigate pricing strategy. That is what they are going to do next. Analysts are in query writers, they are insight generators. AI handles how, they explain why. 3 more rows to go, number 13. 13 is about financial advisors. The scale problem is impossible. The market drops 5%, you have 200 clients. They all need reassurance, but here's the catch. They all have different portfolios. Sarah has 65% tech stocks. Bob has 60% bonds. You can't send them the same email. AI solves this. You upload the market summary in a CSV of client holdings. The AI generates 200 custom emails. Sarah, your tech stocks are down by 8%, but long-term fundamentals still remain strong. Consider this as a buying opportunity. But when it comes to Bob, your bonds are stable and you're actually up by 2% and investors flee to safety. Your retirement income is absolutely secure. Same event but opposite messages. Both are correct. Now let's head to the live demo. Here's the scenario. Nasdaq dropped by 5% today. Sarah Miller, 65% text exposure, 34 years old, aggressive risk profile. Bob Jenkins, 60% bonds, 72 years old and conservative. Now I am asking AI to draft 2 different emails based on this idea. And you can see it is able to absolutely get the emails absolutely perfectly catered to each and every one of them according to what they need from this market crash which is likely there. This isn't an email merge, this is strategic personalization based on actual holdings and risk profile. At scale, this could take human advisor 8 hours to write 200 versions. AI does it in just 3 minutes. Advisors aren't email writers, they are wealth strategists. AI handles the updates, they handle the complex portfolio management. On to number 14. Number 14, real estate. The content problem is absolutely unique. You list a property, 3 bed, 2 bath, sunny kitchen near parks, simple facts. But you need to write this 3 different ways. Instagram needs emojis and emotion. Dreamy kitchen with skylights. Zillow needs facts. 1,450 square feet. Recent roof and $450,000. Newsletter needs brevity. New listing, Oak Street, 3x2, motivated seller. Bonus use case. It's about lease management. You have 50 rental units. You need to know which tenants have rent increase next month. AI scans the PDF of the license and gives you a table. Now let's get into the live demo. Here's a messy agent note from the property walkthrough. 123 Oak Street needs work but great bones. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1915 ranch, hardwoods under carpet, big backyard fence, good for dogs, kitchen dated with massive skylight, roof 2022, $450,000, seller motivated, moving to Florida. Now here's how agents actually take notes. But now I really need 3 different versions. A Zillow professional, which is highlights investment potential and minimizes dated kitchen. Instagram emojis focus on dog friendliness. Email create urgency around motivated seller. Now the AI absolutely caters what we asked for Zillow. So it generates a high investment potential as the key thing that we are selling our home. And in Instagram, it comes with the dog lover scenario with absolute array of emojis following it. And in the email subject, it's completely about the motivation of the seller to move immediately. Now, the 3 complete different tones, same fact, but that's platform native content. Agents are copywriters, they are deal makers. AI handles the marketing, they handle the negotiations. Let's go to the final row. Number 15, translators. The fear was Google Translate absolutely killed this profession. The reality, it elevated it. Old method, manual word by word translation. 50-page technical manual takes 40 hours. New method, AI generates 95% accurate the first draft in 90 seconds. The translator becomes a cultural editor. They spend their time on the 5% that matters. tone, cultural nuance, technical precision. Does the safety warning sound urgent in German? Does this idiom be localized? The translator's value isn't in typing, it's in judgment. Let's go to the live demo. Let me show you the real technical translation challenge. Here's a snippet of 200-page hydraulic engineering manual. Basically, you can read that hydropneumatic actuator assembly, it requires calibration of 4,000 cycles, do not lubricate, blah blah blah. Complex technical language, mixed units, safety critical information. Now I am translating in German with 4 specific constraints. 1. Terminology should be ISO certified. The actuator should be Stellentribe, not ACTA. 2. Convert all imperial units to metric only. Remove the feet, pound, parenthetical. And 3. Keep English acknowledged like HPAA in parentheses for clarity. 4. Formal warnings according to DIN 5008 standard. Now, if you see the AI, it has absolutely given a beautiful output with following the complete constraints that we have given. Now, here's where the human translator adds value. They review and realize in German technical context, Ausgestaltet for emergency stop is less geared than Anschläge. That is the nuance that AI might miss. They also notice the tone of warning would be more urgent. In German safety documentation traditionally use more forceful language. They changed dürfen nicht überschreiten, that is must not exceed, to Schneefalls überschreiten, under no circumstances exceed. Now when we check back with the Google Translate, we can see the translation has been mostly as per what we have asked and hence achieving the goal for which LLMs were really made for. So, the AI did the heavy lifting, 200-page translated in 15 minutes. Humans spent 2 hours refining safety and critical nuances, ensuring cultural appropriatedness. Total time 2 hours 25 minutes instead of 40 hours. That is 18 times productivity gain, and the quality is higher because Translate is focused purely on expertise, not repetitive typing. Translators are in both processes, they are cultural bridges. AI handles the draft, they ensure the meaning transcends language, and that's our list. So there you have it, the top 15 roles that are transforming now. From executive assistants to organizing chaos to translator preserving cultural meaning to developers architecting systems instead of typing boilerplate. Here's the common thread: extraction, transformation, and elevation. If your job involves moving information from one format to another, you are not being replaced, you are being liberated. Now, AI handles the drudgery, you handle the judgment calls. That's the strategy, that's the human touch. I know some of you might be thinking, that sounds great, but where do I start? That's why we are going to dive into module 1 of LLM4All next. For the prompts that we have used in this video, they are linked in the description. You get all 15 ready to use prompts for all the roles that we have covered today. Those aren't just theory, these are the exact prompts that professionals are using in production right now. The companies winning in 2025 aren't the one with the most AI, they are the ones with humans who know how to manage AI the best. Don't compete with the mission, manage it. Thanks for watching. See you in module 1 concept video. Thank you.